All right, free agency is not quite here yet. It'll be hot and heavy once we get to Monday of next week, but we've already have some news, and it affects the NFC North. How much so? Well, let's take a look. Let's get into the headlines. What's happening? All right, there you go. Jonah Jackson is being traded from the Rams to the Chicago Bears for a day 3 pick. So not very much draft cap going to the Bears in exchange for Jonah Jackson. Now, this is hilarious. I'm going to try not to troll the Bears too hard. Yeah, right. F the Bears. So, listen, Ryan Poles, when you woke up today, what were you thinking? Were you thinking of protecting this guy? Because that's not happening. Were you honestly thinking that you were going to protect Caleb Williams by bringing in Jonah Jackson? This is a huge mistake, but let's see what this article says by Rams Wire. It says Jonah Jackson's tenure with the Los Angeles Rams is ending just after one season, and Jackson, who signed a $51 million deal in free agency last year, is now being traded to the Bears. Now, in return, the Rams will get a 6th round pick in 2025 NFL draft. Now, obviously, it's a low draft pick because they're taking on a pretty big contract, but the trade is obviously not official. It can't be processed until next week at the start of the new league year on March 12th. But Jackson obviously found a new home after the epic collapse and failure in LA in just one season. Now, the Rams signed Jackson to their starting left guard position last year and planned to move Steve Avila to center. Obviously, things didn't work out because Jonah is Jonah. Whether it was a broken fingernail or a bum wrist or whatever he had going on, well, he went to LA and then hurt his shoulder. Had a shoulder injury, couldn't play. And then after returning from IR, he took over at center, which I'm still scratching my head over this one. A guy that doesn't ever play center, Sean McVay moves him to center. He was terrible, trash, and clearly didn't work out. And then you sit Bo Leemer, a new draft pick, over a guy that doesn't play center because, well, he's on the roster. You're paying him a boatload of money, and you got to get some PT out of him. Just terrible all the way around for Sean McVay and the Rams. Adam Schefter says Jonah Jackson is scheduled to make $17.5 million in salary this season, and the Bears are taking on this contract per a source. Now, the Rams don't retain any of Jackson's salary with this move. This is huge for so many reasons, but Jackson will leave behind $11.5 million or $11.3 million in dead money, but the Rams get a net savings of $3.3 million by trading him to Chicago. Wow. Why is this such a big deal? Because even on some of these other sites, they're talking about Jonah Jackson being the worst signing ever in franchise history, even worse or more so than Allen Robinson was in 2022. So the LA Rams paid Jonah Jackson more money than they gave free agent Allen Robinson in 2022, and he's been even less valuable in his first season with the team. So is Jackson actually a worse signing than one of the worst signings in franchise history? Question. Look, I want to know in the chats in the comment below, right? What do you think about this? If you are a Viking, a Packer, or a Lion, what are you thinking about this? I mean, we've all had to deal with Jonah from one perspective or another. I can tell you as a Lions fan, I'm laughing right now because I just know how terrible Jonah was. And when he exited the team, look, I get it. Again, there was a relationship with him and Stafford. They were hoping to cultivate something. It didn't happen, but we knew that. And you know what? Big ups to Brad Holmes for recognizing the fact that Jonah was not going to work out. I honestly feel that he got under Dan Campbell's skin throughout that last season he was in Detroit. If you remember, Dan went to the press conference and he said, well, yeah, Jonah will be back when he lets me know that he's ready to play and his finger or his wrist or whatever no longer hurt. You kind of got the feeling that Dan was like, what's up with this dude? He's got a hurt pinky and he can't even get in the game. Yeah, Frank Ragnow's ready to cut off his leg just to get back in the NFC Championship game. Come on, people. And you know what? I got to give another clap. Brian Poles. No, let me give you the golf clap. Sorry, let me give the quieter one. Brian Poles, you suck, dude. Like $17.5 million going to Jonah Jackson. Did you ever hear the name Myles Garrett? Like, you could have probably thrown an extra tenner on this and had Myles Garrett, and that nobody would have cared how much you spent. You keep trying to buy a team instead of grooming and developing and drafting a team. You keep giving away all your draft picks for what? I hope you get a first-round offensive lineman because Jonah, he's not the answer, but I'm glad that he just ate up $17.5 million of your cap space. Check out this by Ram D-Bob. He says, 0 sacks allowed today by the Rams offensive lineman without Joe Noteboom and without Jonah Jackson. That's hilarious. And then Ram Brothers says, good for McVay and staff. 2 of the weakest links from Monday's offensive line are not in the starting rotation today. Jonah Jackson and Joe Noteboom. They're also, coincidentally, 2 of the top 6 cap hits on the roster. And he says, I hate both of their contracts a lot. That was November 17th, right around Thanksgiving of last year. So, look, let's wrap this up. This is a huge mistake by the Bears, and I can't stop laughing because, oh, man, if they're really expecting to take care of Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson, man, you're getting off to a great start already. I mean, you're bringing in one of the worst offensive linemen that already exited the NFC North because Brad Holmes didn't trust him. And you think that you know something more than Brad here? Like you're going to resurrect this guy's career? F the Bears, man. I'm sorry. It's hilarious. And this video is not going to be 8 minutes long. We're done right now. Go One Pride, go Detroitlions. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think about this Bears trade for Jonah Jackson? I don't care what fan you are. I just want to know. Like, you've got to be shaking your head at this one at a minimum. But you know what? Keep it up, polls. This might be your last year as the GM in Chicago. And I ain't mad at you. I ain't got nothing but love for you either, though. So we'll see you in the next one. Go One Pride. Go Detroit Lions. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.